is everywhere really, and seeing Putin's face absolutely everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Everywhere you go, you see Putin, Putin, Putin on t-shirts, on mugs, on calendars, everything. And why are there so many 24-hour flower shops?
Yes.
What's all that about?
Всем приветики-пистолетики, меня зовут Джастин, и сегодня у меня очень уникальный гость. Вот это же Джон.
Меня зовут Джон, как он сказал. Я англичанин, я из Хэмпшира. Это графство на юге Англии, около часа от Лондона. Я изучал русский язык в колледже, а потом в университете. В целом 6 лет.
Поэтому я хотел его сегодня пригласить сюда, потому что именно я хотел обсуждать, как именно учат русский язык в Англии. Мы будем общаться на английском языке, хотя я буду задавать вопросы на русском, потому что он хорошо понимает, и потому что он будет говорить английском, потому что я хочу, чтобы у вас была практика слушать его чистый британский английский. Так что, наверное, самый главный вопрос, который ты получаешь в России, это же как ты начал учить русский язык, а именно почему русский язык ты начал учить?
So I started learning Russian when I was 16 years old.
Okay.
I started at college, British college, not American college.
Okay.
So at 16 years old, I decided to start it because I was interested in the history, the culture, the place in general. Russia is this big, crazy mystery to people. No one knows anything about it, and I wanted to learn more, and also because I wanted to do something a bit different. People don't learn Russian language back home really. It's very, very rare that people learn Russian, so I thought, okay, let's do something different. So in an open day at college, this open day I had the opportunity to sit in sort of during a Russian session.
Okay.
It's just about an hour long. We were talked to by the teacher, explained some different Russian, told us some different words, and I thought it was very interesting. And I thought, this is something different, this is something interesting and new. Why not continue this? So I decided to continue learning Russian, and yeah, and after college I thought, again, I've had this opportunity to learn Russian so far. I should continue this at university, get a degree, because it will open opportunities at home, because it isn't a common thing.
Если вы хотели бы изучать английский язык для того, чтобы говорить самые популярные русские выражения в английском языке, London is the capital of Great Britain, наверное, очень много раз слышал, то приходите на ссылку, которая будет в описании на English Buzz. Вы можете записаться на бесплатную консультацию, где мы вам покажем, как происходят наши занятия, ответим на все ваши вопросы и устроим для вас учебный план. Очень классный. Какие языки больше всего изучают в Англии? Потому что, например, для нас люди изучают французский, испанский, немецкий, да, и так далее. А это очень, скажем, не особо популярно учить русский язык, я бы сказал. Какая у вас ситуация в Англии?
I mean, it's the same really, as you said. So French, Spanish, German are the three most popular, especially French because we're next door to France. Everyone learns French. Apart from maybe a few specific schools. Everyone learns French. I learned French. I decided to learn Spanish.
Okay.
So, you know, you can choose to do another language if you want. I chose Spanish. Some people choose German. Russian is not popular at all.
Why not?
Why not? Just because, I mean, why not? Because the opportunities aren't there really. Fewer people. It's further away. You know, it isn't a popular tourist destination because of visas and because of history, I guess. And yeah, people don't really learn it. It's also very difficult and inaccessible for us to learn.
Okay.
I mean, learning Russian at university, you are going to finish your degree being able to speak, to understand and speak to a certain level, but still not nesvobodno.
Okay.
And if you learn French or Spanish or German, you are going to come out fluent. You are going to come out knowing the language fluently.
Okay.
That's what the expectation is. With Russian, not so much.
Okay. So now, do you remember your first lesson of Russian ever? What were your first thoughts?
So the first lesson, I guess, was the taster session, which I thought was really interesting, really cool. And the teacher was very excited and friendly and open. And then I had my first real lesson, and I realized it was totally different. My first experience learning Russian properly was not very good. My teacher was an older, quite scary, intimidating Russian lady. She talked about the domashny zadania as our dolg. It was our dolg all the time, and it was just domashny zadania all the time. Very bad explanations of grammar points. In our second year, we had to sit in with the first year students, and all the attention was on them. And we was just, here's your homework, do it. And sure, that was it. No, she did not focus on us anymore. It was intense. It was intense, and we didn't learn a lot in college. University, thankfully, things changed.
А теперь как думаете ваши британские друзья, когда они узнают, что ты изучаешь русский язык, что ты был в России, они думают, что ты как-то странно, классно или как?
I mean, it's usually quite interesting to people. Yeah, it's not expected, and people find it interesting and cool, and they have all these questions, and always people say, isn't it so hard? To which I say, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Так что ты начал учить русский язык в Англии, но я все-таки знал, ты уже изучал русский язык в Москве, в Питере.
Да.
То есть как тогда именно отличался обучение русскому языку в Англии и в России?
So Russian in Russia was much more intense. The lessons were longer. They were more intensive, yes. We had lots of different types of Russian lessons. Yeah, we had kino, разговор, СМИ lessons, и так далее. All these different types of lesson. And of course, everything in Russia was in Russian.
Yes.
I mean, the teachers, maybe 2 or 3 spoke a tiny bit of English, but not really. All the lessons were in Russian, which is, of course, very, very useful to us.
Для нас то же самое, потому что я очень четко помню, как у нас была одна ситуация, у нас была одна учительница, и она вообще ничего не знала на английском, кроме таких слов, как danger. Я помню, она прям на уроке вот это кричала, прям danger, и я спросил, откуда ты же вот это слово знаете? И она говорит, что она это знает только потому, что там это было написано на полу в метро, и поэтому вот там danger, do not cross the line, или что-то там было написано, было очень классно, очень клево. Так что, что думаете британцы-англичане именно о русских людях и о русском акценте?
The Russian accent.
Yes.
I mean, it depends on the person, really. Yeah, it can be quite scary, intimidating, or it can be, I personally always thought it was a very nice accent. It's interesting, it's different, it's quite a pretty accent. But yes, if you're standing there being shouted at by a big scary Russian man with a thick Russian accent, then of course you are thinking of
very different,
yeah, thinking very differently, and it's quite scary, it can be.
И как ты думаешь о русской грамматике, именно о русских падежах?
Я ненавижу русскую грамматику. It's very, very hard, very different. It's completely different to English and how English works as a language. The cases were it took me a long time. Not until my 5th year of studying Russian did I actually finally realize how it worked. For 4 years, I still did not know what was going on. I could just, I just remembered sentences and some general structures, but the language did not work in my head yet.
Interesting.
And finally, in the 5th year, just living in Russia, I think helped a lot, and finally it just connected in my head.
Okay.
Yeah, and also how did you learn it? NSV, SV verbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfective, imperfective verbs. That's something that still I struggle with. Having to remember 2 verbs for every 1 verb in English is a challenge, but it's, lots of practice is needed.
Love it. Какие есть самые сложные русские слова или произношения, по твоему мнению? Есть какие-то?
So we have the words, the words I said before. I always struggle with the word суверенный. Достопримечательности is a difficult one, of course, being one of the really long ones. I mean, a lot of them are difficult with the stresses of the word and how you're supposed to say everything precisely is a challenge. But
да, ударение самое такое.
Yeah.
Ну, ты уже много времени уже был в России. Какое у тебя было первое впечатление в России?
So it did not take me very long at all to realize that it was a really impressive, beautiful place. I lived in St. Petersburg for a year, and St. Petersburg is it's probably my favorite city still now. It's beautiful, it's a lot of fun, the people are very interested and ask you lots of questions and were very friendly the whole time. I felt very welcome there on the whole, which I think a lot of people would expect it to be the opposite, really. Go and everything will be quite scary and people, cold to you. But no, I felt very welcome there. I enjoyed it. Beautiful place, and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, мне тоже было самые прекрасные веселые времена, это всего было в Питере. И что тебе больше всего шокировал, или когда ты был самый больше всего как удивлен? Когда ты был удивлен от чего-то?
So a couple of things really. There are just certain things that are just so totally different. The way the media sort of is everywhere really, and seeing Putin's face absolutely everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Everywhere you go, you see Putin on t-shirts, on mugs, on calendars, everything. And also, why are there so many 24-hour flower shops?
Yes.
What's all that about?
Так что спасибо огромное, что ты посмотрел свою аудиторию сегодня, это было очень классно, спасибо огромное, что ты пришел.
Без проблем. Ну, спасибо тебе большое.
Ты можешь найти больше Джона в Инстаграме, его ссылки на его Инстаграм будут в описании внизу. И какие-то последние слова моей аудитории, моим товарищам.
Спасибо огромное for watching, чтобы вы посмотрели. Да.
Посмотрели.
Спасибо огромное, чтобы вы посмотрели. Я был очень рад быть с вами. Удачи вам и до свидания.